bien. So I'm over here having a good time. So I'm driving and I'm just celebrating life. I'm just celebrating me. You know, we only have one life. You know, we make life so significant. I know things happen, you know, we fall into problems and circumstances and challenges. And you know what? They knock you down. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. It really is up to you if you're really gonna bounce back. If you're gonna bounce back strong. And you know what? It's just time to celebrate who you are. You know, it's time to acknowledge what you've accomplished in your life. You know, in the moments of depression or disparity, you know, just take a step back and really take inventory of all of the things that you have accomplished in your life, and that all of the assets and skills that you have learned and that you know that you are good at. Because when you get present to who you are and what you know and what you have accomplished, you know what? All those other problems become insignificant. I mean, think about it, right? At the end of the day, either your problems are going to be bigger than you, and your circumstances and your challenges of problems are going to be bigger than you, or are you going to choose to be bigger than your problems? Because at the end of the day, if you choose to be bigger than your problems, you get to turn it all around. You get to create massive results. That's the bottom line. You know, there are people come to me all the time and says, you know, I have money problems, or I can't go to that seminar because I don't have the money, or I can't make that investment because I don't have the money, or I got this business idea and I just don't know how to get it going. I said, you know what? You're not committed. You know, the reason why all of this is overwhelming you is because at the end of the day, you are letting this whole idea or concept or whatever story you have be bigger than you. And in the moment that you choose to be bigger than that, you'll find a way. You'll freaking find a way. I was talking to one of my clients. I do coach people. You know, I just carry a handful at a time. And this person was just telling me the story of his life and his challenges and circumstances for like half an hour. And I was just letting that person just vent out. And at one point, I just cut him off. And I was like, you know, like, what are you committed to? What is important to you? What do you want to accomplish in your life? You know, you're over here talking to a successful entrepreneur, you know, I'm a business coach and a motivational speaker, and you know, I don't hear you asking me for a solution. You know, what I'm interested in is in hearing what is it that you're committed to, and I want you to ask me, hey Eddie, how can I achieve X, Y, and Z? Because I'm having a hard time, you know, achieving X, Y, and Z. That's what I want to hear. Like, ask me a very specific question that's going to forward the action. That's the bottom line. That's what you should be asking me. Because if you spend half an hour, you know, complaining about your life, what is that going to forward? That ain't going to get you nowhere. Can I just tell you like it is? I'm telling like it is. I'm coming raw. It's time to cut the BS and get out of story mode and start let your words create your world. Most people live in a world where they let their world create their words. So whatever's happening in their life, the challenges, circumstances, problems, whatever things they're dealing with, arguments, this, that, blah, 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 you know what I'm talking about. You know, they are at the effect of that. Did you hear that? You and me sometimes, okay, we tend to be at the effect of whatever's happening. And that's what I mean when I say that we let our world create the words that come out of our mouth. You know what? You can't be passionate and full of life when you're just in reaction mode. You know, I'm inviting you to let your words create your world. This is your opportunity to step up and say, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I want to create, and this is how it's gonna go. So, if a little boy is across the street from a park, and the ball goes into the park, or let's say he sees something in the park that he wants, or she wants, the little girl. What does the little boy or girl do? They'll go to the park and they'll get the ball. That's what they'll do. They'll go and get what they want. And the ball's in a tree, or over a fence, or in a difficult place. They'll either ask for support, or they'll find a way to climb the fence, or they'll ask 100 questions to someone so they can achieve that result. So they're focused on getting what they want. But us, if we want something and it's across the street and we know it's in the park, we do the opposite. We're like, all right, I'll go later, or I'm not worthy, or I don't look good enough, or I didn't get a haircut, or I don't believe I can convince that person to help me get the ball, Or you have all these thoughts and all these stories and all these things that come up. And it's so freaking BS. Like, all of these things stop you from getting the freaking ball. And in this case, the ball is what you want in your life. I mean, are you really going to spend the rest of your life living inside of here? I tell people that when you live inside of your brain and analyzing and judging and giving opinions and evaluations, you know, it's like this area over here can be one of the highest crime rate neighborhoods in the world because it's so full of negativity. You know, I know that that's what our brain does and it generates powerful thoughts. But if you're just sitting in the space of, you know, analyzing and thinking and judging, giving opinions, evaluating, coming from that space, you ain't gonna do anything. So in the case of going across street to get the ball, I use that example, and you can relate it to whatever example you're dealing with, life. But that's what we do. We know what we want, and it's over there. But we'll spend all this time in this whole other freaking space of doubt and unworthiness, and how am I gonna do it, and I don't look good enough, and I'm not gonna get a haircut, and all these reasons and excuses. Hey guys, you know what? Give it up. Life doesn't have to be so difficult. Give it up. Just go freaking get the ball. Whatever you want, go get it. You heard me? Whatever you want, just focus on getting it. And if you don't know how to get it, ask for support. Ask questions. Research. Find a freaking way. All of your conversations going from today forward should be conversations that will forward the action to help you get there as soon as possible. If you focus on that, there will come a time where you're gonna have that result. You're gonna be enjoying the rewards of that. So I'm inviting you to come from that space. And if you do, life will be rewarding, life will be juicy. And along the way, I got one last thing to share with you because I'm just pumped. I'm having a good time, the music's here, and I'm just celebrating me and my life and who I am. So I'm over here telling you, have fun. It's time to have fun, guys. You know how significant we make life? You know, we're working on business or at work and we have all these projects, and you know what? We're not having fun. Life is only one. You know, one day, they're gonna go ahead and bury you, throw dirt in your face, and then they're gonna go to Denny's to have breakfast, and that's it. End of game, end of story. We only have one life, one shot. So whatever you're, in the pursuit of, have fun along the way. Celebrate life. You know, look at it this way. If you were in a basketball game, you wouldn't wait till the end of the basketball game to start having fun, would you? No. You have fun when you're in the game. You're having fun, you're celebrating, you're being competitive, you're in action, you're on the court. You don't have fun when the game is over. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? But why do you do the same thing? Why do we do that? Why do we torture ourselves? I'm inviting you to just step it up, play full out, live every moment as if it's your last moment on earth. You know, come from a space of fun. Celebrate it. Whether you're with your children, your family, your kids, whether you're at work, make it fun. And when you make it fun, things will happen with velocity. You'll enjoy it, and you'll be more productive and creative. So that was my message for the day. It's up to you if you want to take it on. And I'm here celebrating my life, and I'm inviting you to celebrate your life too. So this is Eddie Munoz, and Champion out. Bye-bye. And now I'm going to celebrate.